Police announced that a dead body found at the scene could be a perpetrator at around 1:40 a.m. local time. At least 7 people have been killed and 25 injured, 8 of them seriously, in a mass shooting near a building used by Jehovah's Witnesses in Hamburg, Germany. The shooting took place in Hamburg's Alsterdorf district. At 1:40 a.m. local time, Hamburg police issued an update stating a body found at the scene could be the perpetrator. Writing on Twitter, authorities said, "We found a lifeless person in a community center in #Grossborstel who we believe could be a perpetrator. In order to rule out the involvement of other perpetrators, we carry out checks and search extensively." Police responded to emergency calls at around 9 p.m. with initial reports suggesting shooters were still on the run. But in new reports, it is thought the perpetrator or perpetrators are amongst the dead, but they later issued an update saying several people had been seriously wounded and some fatally. "We only know that several people died here, several people are wounded, they were taken to hospitals," police spokesman Holger Varen said. He said he had no information on the severity of the injuries suffered by the wounded. After police arrived, he said, they heard a shot from an upper floor and found a person upstairs who may have been a shooter. He said police did not have to use their firearms. He said there is no immediate indication a shooter was on the run and it appeared likely the perpetrator or perpetrators were either in the building or among the dead, the spokesperson said. Investigators had indications that a perpetrator may have been in the building and maybe even among the dead. We have no indications of a perpetrator on the run, according to Hamburg police. The shooting took place at a Jehovah's Witness center on Dielboge Street in the Großborstel district. German news agency DPA reported seeing rescue services taking people out of a building used by Jehovah's Witness. They also had no immediate information on a possible motive. The police chief said that the background is still completely unclear. Hamburg Mayor Peter Schenscher tweeted that the news was shocking and offered his sympathy to the victims' relatives. He wrote, "The reports from Alsterdorf/Großborstel are shocking. My deepest condolences to the families of the victims. The emergency services are working flat out to track down the perpetrator, and to clarify the background." A reporter for local broadcaster NDR Heiko Sander claimed police happened to drive past when the shooting was happening. The journalist said, when he was live from Tjeschau, a special unit happened to drive past when they heard several shots. German television channel Welt also added that the police were so quick to the scene as they were driving back to the police headquarters when they heard the gunshots. They then went into the building and evacuated people, including one pregnant woman. Emergency services later used a helicopter with a thermo-imaging camera to secure the building and ensure everyone had been evacuated, the reporter said. Speaking to local media, a witness described the scene. Laura Bach, 23, said it was about 4 firing periods. During these periods, several shots were always fired, approximately 20 seconds to 1 minute apart. I then looked further out of the window and saw a person running hectically from the ground floor to the first floor at the Jehovah's Witnesses. She said people were later carried by police officers onto the street on their hands and feet. The services at the center have always been very well attended and that the crowd was a mix of families, older people, younger people, the witness added. At about 11:35 p.m. Thursday night, Hamburg police issued an update, but didn't share any new information. The update posted on Twitter stated, "Our measures and investigations are running at full speed. As soon as there is in